Welcome to HornbillTV. This is your anchor, Krizanyo Solo. First, the headlines. An enforcement directorate team was attacked and its vehicles damaged in Sandeshgali village of North 24 Paraganas in West Bengal on Tuesday night when it tried to raid the residence of block-level leaders of the ruling Trinamool Congress in connection with an alleged ration scam case. The Aam Aadmi Party has nominated Swati Maliwal, chairperson of the Delhi Commission for Women, as its candidates for the upcoming Rajya Sabha elections. Five out of 6 accused arrested in Parliament security breach case on Friday gave their consent to a polygraph test. Accused Neelam Azadin reported to have refused their polygraph test. The Indian Navy has intensified its surveillance over the hijacked vessel MV Leela Norfolk following information received last evening about the incident. Now for the news in details. The Moray police commandos have allegedly arrested and tortured St. George Catholic Church, Moray Youth Secretary on December 30. The church has vehemently condemned the act and urged the concerned authority to award fitting punishment to those involved. The St. George Catholic Church, in its condemnation note, stated that on December 30, the Moray police commandos arrested and dragged the Church Catholic Youth Action General Secretary Peter Holkolal made while he was returning home from the school. It alleged that removing his dresses, he was trashed and tortured beyond third degree until he was unconscious. He was then dropped at Dharamshala, Moray Bazar, alone with an intention to let him die there so that the matter be not known to the public. However, he managed to reach the home. The church described Maid as Mate as educated, sincere and faithful youth leader who also served the society as an assistant teacher in Bethel High School, Moray. According to the church statement, the commandos want Mati not to disclose the matter to Central Forces or CSOs. It also alleged that the commandos snatched his mobile phone and scooty, which are with them till date. The victim is still undergoing treatment at a district hospital in Churachandpur. He reportedly suffered multiple bone fractures, bruises all over his body. The Moray Catholic community viewed the matter as a new design of atrocity towards Christians of Manipur. It called attention of the state and central government to look into the matter seriously. The community veteran journalist Jadu Kakati passed away today, January 5 at around 1:30 p.m. on Guwahati Medical College after a prolonged illness. He was 92 years old at the time of his death. The veteran journalist Jadu Kakati, who started his journalism career with Assam Batari in 1966, was honored with the Journalism Award on Republic Day. He was one of the founders of the Media Trust Assam. He was associated with Nilachal newspaper from 1968 to 1974, Daily Agradut from 1989 to 1991 and Daily Janam Bhumi. The deceased will be laid to rest at Media Trust, Roopnagar and Guwahati Press Club. The funeral will be held at Navagraha.
আমাৰ কাৰণেও বৰ দুখৰ সময় এটো এ মানে কি হৈছে যে দেউতায়ো গোটেই জীৱনটো সাংবাদিকতাক লৈ কটালে আৰু তাৰ কাৰণে যথেষ্ট পঢ়া শুনা যথেষ্ট কষ্টও কৰিছিলে তেখেতে আৰু যিখিনি নিষ্ঠাৰে নিজৰ কামখিনি কৰিছিলে আৰু তাৰে হয়তো সেই বৰঙনিখিনি আছিল কাৰণে আজি মানে ৰাইজে এই সন্মান আৰু মৰম হেখিনি দিছে সেইখিনি কাৰণে আমি ৰাইজ আৰু ৰাইজৰ ওচৰত চিৰ কৃতজ্ঞ আৰু মানে দেউতাই সদায় আমাক সময়ানুবৰ্তিতা নিয়মানুবৰ্তিতা হেখিনি শিকাইছিলে আৰু নিষ্ঠাৰে নিজৰ কাম কৰিবি বুলি কৈছিলে খুব মৰম কৰিছিলে ৰাইজৰ লগত খুব জড়িত আছিল বিভিন্ন সংগঠনৰ লগত জড়িত আছিল আৰু মানে ৰাইজৰ উন্নতিৰ হকে নিজৰ সামৰ্থৰে যিখিনি পাৰিছে আমাকো জীৱনৰ বহুত ভাল শিক্ষা দিছে কিমানখিনি আমি গ্ৰহণ কৰিব বা নিজে প্ৰয়োগ কৰিব পাৰিছো নাজানো কিন্তু দেউতাই মানে সেইখিনি আমাক ভাল শিক্ষা কিছু দিবলৈ মানে চেষ্টা কৰিছিলে, মা দেউতা দুয়োৱে।
হয়, মোৰ পিতৃ তেখেত জ্যেষ্ঠ সাংবাদিকে আছিল আৰু সমাজকৰ্মী আছিল। এই আমাৰ স্থানীয় সমাজৰ কাৰণে যিখিনি কৰি গ'ল, ৰাইজসকলে সেইকাৰণে তেখেতসকলক সন্মান যাচিবলৈকে ইয়াত আহি উপস্থিত হৈছেহি। আমি ব্যক্তিত্ব সম্পন্ন কৰিম নৱগ্ৰহ শ্মশানত, তাৰ আগতে আমি মিডিয়া ট্ৰাষ্ট ৰূপনগৰত ক'লে এইখিনিয়ে ক'লে খালি। তেখেতৰ বিয়োগ অসমীয়া জাতিৰ কাৰণে অতি লোকচান, অতি অমংগলীয়া কথা। কাৰণ অসমীয়া জাতিৰ অস্তিত্ব ৰক্ষাৰ যি সংগ্ৰাম হৈছিলে 1979-85, এই আন্দোলনটো গতি দিয়া ব্যক্তিসকলৰ ভিতৰত প্ৰথম শাৰীৰ এজন কাকতিদেৱ। সঁচা কথা সাহসেৰে কোৱাৰ যিটো তেওঁৰ নৈতিকতা, তেওঁৰ যি বৈপ্লৱিক সত্তা, আপোচবিহীন যিটো তেওঁৰ মনোভাৱ, দেশৰ কাৰণে জাতিৰ কাৰণে যিটো ভাল পোৱা, এইটো অতি বিচিত্ৰ। মই সদায় লগ পাইছিলোঁ, তেতিয়া আমি সদৌ অসম কৰ্মচাৰী সম্পাদক প্ৰধান আছিলোঁ, আৰু তেখেতে সদায় গৈছিলে, বিষয়বোৰ আলোচনা কৰিছিলে। আৰু তেখেতৰ যিটো আদৰ্শ, যিটো সাংবাদিকতাৰ প্ৰতি তেওঁৰ যিটো দায়বদ্ধতা, এনেকুৱা দায়বদ্ধ সাংবাদিক আজি খুব বিৰল। নাথাকা বুলি মই কোৱা নাই, হয়তো কোনোবা আছে, কিন্তু বিৰল। গতিকে তেখেতৰ আত্মাৰ মই সদ্গতি কামনা কৰিছোঁ। তেখেতৰ আদৰ্শৰে আমাৰ সংবাদ জগত আগবাঢ়ি আহিব, অসমীয়া জাতিয়ে নিজৰ গতিপথ স্থিৰ কৰিব, তাকে কামনা কৰি তেখেতৰ আত্মাৰ চিৰশান্তি কামনা কৰিলোঁ।
Meanwhile, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma expressed condolence to the bereaved family members. Sarma said Kakati started his career in the media in 1960s and enriched the media in the state. He lamented that the death of the veteran journalist is an irreparable loss to the state. The Chief Minister prayed for the departed soul to rest in peace. Opposition parties in Manipur on Thursday accused the Biren Singh-led BJP government for the violence that has claimed so many lives in Manipur. Submitting their complaint regarding the present crisis to the Commission of Inquiry Manipur Violence 2023, Delhi True District Magistrate Shantanu Kumar Singh, Secretary CPIM Manipur Unit, said that the entire crisis should be blamed to bring in AFSPA in the state again.
The Manipur government led by the Shri of BJP and his council of ministers and his bureaucrat officers, they were to blame, not to the Meiteis, Kukis, Nagas and other communities. So we strongly feel that because of their misdeeds, these happenings since May 3 and till today, there is, we have seen many untoward in Manipur, and also we condemn the speech of Shri Biren Singh that he threatened the people of Manipur that he will bring again AFSPA if these happenings are going on in Manipur. And we hope that these incidents are occurred because of his misdeeds and his failure to control the law and order situation and lack of intelligence inputs to him. So we squarely blame Shri Biren Singh for all these happenings in Manipur.
BJP MLA Singh sentenced to 2 years imprisonment and fine of ₹25,000 by the additional civil judge Anupam Dikshit in the old case of threatening an SDM, in which SDM had filed a case against the MLA in Hardi police station on 2 September 2002. Sureshwar Singh is currently an MLA from Mashi Assembly constituency of BJP. Meanwhile, after the announcement of verdict, MLA supporters gathered at his residence in Bahraich.
उत्तर प्रदेश के जनपद बहराइच की महासी विधानसभा से भाजपा विधायक सुरेश्वर सिंह को एमपी एमएलए कोर्ट ने 2 साल की सजा सुनाते हुए उन पर 25,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया है। आपको बता दें कि अपर सिविल जज अनुपम दीक्षित ने उनको 2 मामले की सुनवाई करते हुए उनको 2 साल की सजा व साथ ही साथ 25,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया है। आपको यह भी बता दें कि जो मामला बताया जा रहा है वो 2002 का एक एसडीएम को धमकाने का मामला बताया जा रहा है, जिस मामले में आज कोर्ट ने उन्हें 2 साल की सजा और 25,000 रुपए का जो जुर्माना है वो लगाया है। ये बहुत बड़ी खबर आज जनपद बहराइच के लिए है, क्योंकि मौजूदा विधायक हैं सुरेश्वर सिंह और भाजपा के कद्दावर नेता कहे जाते हैं। हॉर्नबिल टीवी के लिए कैमरामैन हनीफ साहू के साथ अजमल शाह।
Hindu organizations organized Shri Sankalp Siddh Bike Yatra on January 22. A bike yatra was carried out from the Ram temple being built in Ayodhya. Thousands of Ram devotees enthusiastically took part in the Shri Sankalp Siddha Bike Yatra. Shri Ram devotees dressed up as Lord Shri Hanuman and encouraged people through the bike yatra. Vigilant Hathras city echoed with the praises of Lord Shri Ram. The ceremony will take place in the campus of Bagla Inter College through the main roads of Hathras city.
देखिए, ये जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं, ये बांग्ला इंटर कॉलेज के मैदान से प्रारंभ होकर और शहर के विभिन्न मार्गों से होते हुए वापस इसी स्थान में समाप्त होगी। इसमें रैली के आगे और पीछे, मध्य में और तमाम संवेदनशील स्थानों पे अलग से ड्यूटी लगाई गई है। और इसमें रैली के आगे एक क्षेत्राधिकारी के नेतृत्व में पुलिस बल है और रैली के पीछे भी जो है एक क्षेत्राधिकारी के नेतृत्व में पुलिस बल का पर्याप्त पुलिस बल की व्यवस्था की गई है और हमारा प्रयास रहेगा कि हम इसको सकुशल संपन्न करें।
हमारा 22 जनवरी को अयोध्या में जो राम मंदिर का उद्घाटन होने जा रहा है और वहाँ पे उसके कार्यक्रम की श्रृंखला में यहाँ पे भी एक बाइक संकल्प यात्रा का एक आयोजन किया जा रहा है, जिसमें यहाँ पे हजारों की संख्या में अपने कार्यकर्ता, स्वयंसेवक एवं राम भक्त और नगर प्रेमी जनता सारी जो राम जी से जुड़ी हुई और राम जी के लिए बहुत समय से इंतजार वो घड़ी आज आ चुकी है। उसी उपलक्ष्य में हमारे रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे हैं। इस टाइप से हम सब लोग एकत्रित होकर यहाँ पे खुशी और हर्षोल्लास के साथ ये जी का उत्सव मनाया। 22 तारीख को एक दीपावली के रूप से पूरा ये कार्यक्रम भव्य और दिव्य होना चाहिए। ये मेरा सभी हाथरस नगर जनपद से पूरा आग्रह और निवेदन है। धन्यवाद। जय श्री राम।
That was on the Shri Ram Bike Yatra. We'll now take a short break. We'll be back with more news.
डर मत, टाइगर है ना, ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट।
जैसे जैसे उत्तराखंड में नए अवसर बन रहे हैं, वैसे वैसे अनेक साथी गांव लौटने लगे। डबल इंजन सरकार का प्रयास है कि गांव वापसी का ये काम तेजी से हो।
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के मार्गदर्शन और मुख्यमंत्री पुष्कर सिंह धामी के कुशल नेतृत्व में ग्राम्य विकास की महत्वपूर्ण योजनाएं नए आयाम तय कर रही हैं। दीनदयाल उपाध्याय ग्रामीण कौशल योजना के तहत नजदीकी ब्लॉक में गरीब परिवार के युवकों को निशुल्क कौशल प्रशिक्षण देकर नियमित मासिक आय वाले रोजगार और स्वरोजगार के अवसर उपलब्ध कराए जा रहे हैं।
दीनदयाल उपाध्याय कौशल्य विकास योजना के तहत हमारे ब्लॉक तथा हमारे आसपास के रिमोट एरिया के युवक और युवतियों को जो कि जरूरतमंद है, उनको रोजगार के अवसर उपलब्ध हो रहे हैं।
श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी रूरबन मिशन के तहत उत्तराखंड राज्य को 3 चरणों और 6 क्लस्टर में चयनित किया गया है। योजना के अंतर्गत विभिन्न घटकों जैसे सड़क, कृषि विकास, आजीविका संवर्धन, स्ट्रीट लाइट और शिक्षा में कार्य किया जा रहा है।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो सपना है कि उत्तराखंड का युवा पलायन ना करे और गांव का युवा गांव में ही स्वरोजगार करे, अपना रोजगार करे, और उसके लिए हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, चाहे मत्स्य पालन का हो या मशरूम का हो या फिर मनरेगा योजना को लेकर हो। और काफ़ी मात्रा में युवा आज उस पर काम कर रहा है, जिससे जो है पलायन पर खासकर रोक लगी है।
महात्मा गांधी राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण रोजगार गारंटी योजना के तहत 200 लाख मानव दिवस सृजन के सापेक्ष 90% मानव दिवस सृजित किए जा चुके हैं। प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत ग्रामीण योजना के अंतर्गत सभी बेघर, कच्चे और टूटे हुए मकान वाले परिवारों को वर्ष 2024 तक बुनियादी सुविधाओं के साथ पक्का आवास उपलब्ध कराने का लक्ष्य रखा गया है। प्रदेश के अंतिम छोर तक बह रही है विकास की बयार। उन्नति का संकल्प निभा रही है डबल इंजन की सरकार।
the ABC for HIV prevention.
डर मत, टाइगर है ना, ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट।
Welcome back. In some major clarity provided by the Union Government on the Citizenship Amendment Act, rules for the Citizenship Amendment Act, the bill for which was cleared by Parliament in December 2019, will be notified much before the announcement of the Lok Sabha elections, sources in the government said on Tuesday. The bill, which sought to fast-track Indian citizens to Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis and Christians, but not Muslims, who migrated to India owing to religious persecution in Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, was passed by the Lok Sabha on December 9, 2019 and Rajya Sabha 2 days later, after which it received a President's assent on December 12, 2019. Widespread protests broke out across the country after the passage of the bill. The rules for implementation of the Act were never notified and the government sought repeated extensions for the framing the rules. We are going to issue the rules for the CAA in these coming days. Once the rules are issued, the law can be implemented and those eligible can be granted Indian citizenship, the sources said. The Congress on Wednesday said it is now clear that the legislation was always meant as a weapon to polarize voters just before the polls. Jairam Ramesh, the Congress General Secretary, said in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, that the Narendra Modi government bulldozed the contentious law in Parliament in December 2019. Rules to make the law operational should have been in place, according to parliamentary procedures, within 6 months, but 9 months extensions were sought and given, Ramesh said. We'll now be joined by our associate editor. Am I audible? Thank you for joining us, El.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, El, thank you for joining us today. Can you give us a brief history of the CAA and its contents?
Oh yeah, I think the protest that we saw way back in 2019 will be something that we'll be expecting this year too, or at least before the start of the 2024 elections. What many people think about the Citizenship Amendment Act is that it's a new law, and therefore it is a very good time, a right time for the people to protest. And when you protest, you are able to take it back, somehow for the government to take back the amendment. But the thing here is that the Citizenship Amendment Act is not a new act. It actually goes all the way to the 1950s. The amended portion, the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, was just an amendment, but its origin goes all the way to 1950. So now, in 1950, when the government of India was setting the Constitution of India, by the commencement of the Constitution, all the people living in India during that time was given automatic citizenship. So now, 5 years later, in 1955, the government decided that they will have to tweak the constitution a little bit with some changes here. Now, in the 1955 amendment, the government said that we are going to give citizenship to all the foreigners in India who was born in undivided India. So they were given citizenship only after about 7 years, and for people from other countries, foreigners from foreign countries who wanted to secure citizenship in India had to be in India for at least 12 years before they were granted citizenship. So it started from 1950 and 1955, and then during the 1980s somehow there were elements that exploited the loopholes in the Citizenship Amendment Act. For instance, in the 1980s in Assam, there was a lot of bloody conflict, there were a lot of agitation, especially from the Assam students community, and there was a lot of bloodshed. And it was during the time there were some kind of an amendments that were made in 1985 during the, I think, the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's time. So what the government of India, the BJP-led government at the center is doing now is they just amended something that existed way back in 1955. So right now, the bill, the 2016 bill is already in an act. There is no way that, at least at this point of time, there is no way that the changes will have to be made. Of course, when the BJP government introduced the bill to amend the Citizenship Act before it became the act that we know today, there were some kind of changes, and the changes particularly was not in relation to the protocols, the regularity, the regular protocols and the framework that was made in the 1955 amendment. The new change and the heart of the change was about non-Muslim from foreign countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. They were not to be allowed or given citizenship status because they did not fall under the religious, the persecuted religious communities from these three countries.
When we talk about changes, the CAA has been the subject of both protests and counter-protests across India. The issue continues to be a source of social division and tension. Could you elaborate on the adverse effect the pronouncement of rules before the Lok Sabha polls it has? Also the term polarization of voters, why is it often used?
Yeah, when it comes to religion in India, once Karl Marx said it's opium of the people. And when it comes to religion, I think it is no more a tool to advance your intellectual capital. It is more of a tool to politicize something, and I think it is a very dangerous tool that India has come to create. Now, when we talk of polarization in India, we're not just talking about divisions in the name of caste and religion also. We're not talking about division in the name of community, cultural practices or religion. When we talk of polarization in India, it has a very unique facet to it. For instance, polarization is not always about Hindus and Christians and Muslims and Sikhs and Jains. It is also about who is in power, because polarization has come to mean a term where we mean only the Hindus and the Muslims, or maybe even other communities such as the Sikhs and the Christians. But here polarization is particularly used in the context of state politics, and how the maneuvering, how the engineering of the social narrative of each of the central governments are used either for advantage or disadvantage to a certain community. So when we talk about Citizenship Amendment Act or even the National Registry for citizens in India, we are not talking about Hindus or Muslims. We are talking basically about the center's narrative and how it wants to create a narrative that will give them the biggest advantage. Today it's Hindu, let's say a Hindu dominated government at the center. Tomorrow it's Sikh. It might be Muslims, we don't know too. And later on we might have a Christian dominated central government, we don't know. So now the question is, what do you mean by polarization if a non-Hindu government comes at the center? So in India, the politics of polarization is entirely a state narrative, and we can only always put it on Hindus or Muslim only. But in the case of the Citizenship Amendment Act, of course, I think the complaint and the criticism has been that the Citizenship Amendment Act has always performed against not particularly any other religions except the Muslims. So that is why the contrast about the way the government treats the non-Muslims and how it handles the Muslim question. And if it is going to handle it in such a way that it does not really malign its name and it actually wants to build some kind of a vote bank for itself in 2024, then it will have to first handle the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act. And if it does not, many believe that maybe it might not necessarily defeat the BJP, let's say, but it will certainly eat a large chunk of the vote bank.
CAA continues to be a complex and contentious issue in India. The uncertainty surrounding the implementation of the CAA and the NRC has created fear and anxiety among some minority communities in India. Understanding the complexities of CAA and its ongoing impact requires staying informed and engaging with diverse perspectives. That's all for this bulletin. Thank you for watching HornbillTV.